and welcome to Clappia. In this video, we will see how to add dates to your application with the help of the Date Selector Block that is available in Clappia. Let's see how to use this with the help of an example. Over here, I have created an application for scheduling interviews. There are two sections for this app. The first section captures the interviewee details along with mode of interview and the role. The next section is whether they have qualified for the next round or not. Now in this app, I would also like to add the date of interview as well as the date for the second round if they have qualified. So let's see how to add this option. We click on Design App where we can edit the app, and you can see under interviewee details all the earlier fields. Now we click on Add Field and then click on Date Selector. This Date Selector block can be configured on the right hand panel that has appeared here. There are two options, Basic and Advanced, for configuring. The first thing I will do is to give a label name. I will mention date of interview. Next, we can give a description to the field. This is to help a user to know what to input into the field or maybe some helpful information. So here I will just write in, please enter a date. Now we click on Save and go to the advanced options. The first option says default to current date. If you want the system to automatically capture the current date of submission, you can enable this option. We will see how this works in the app. For now, I'll just disable the remaining options and then click on Save. Now we go to App Home and you can see the date of interview block has appeared on our app. It has also captured the current date. You can also see the description that we have entered has been mentioned at the bottom of the field. So now let's go to Design App where we see further configurations. Now over here, I will disable default to current date and I will enable show current date options. For the date of interview, you would like to select different dates and not just the current date. So you can enable this option. Click on Save. And now once we select the basic option, at the bottom you can see required. Over here, if you do not want a person to miss out on filling any field before submission, you can enable this particular field. Click on Save and now go back to App Home. Over here you can see a red star mark that has appeared on this block. This is because we have enabled this field as required. Now if you fill in all the details for this app and not the date of interview and then we click on Submit, you can see an error message has appeared over here. So that means you have to fill in this field before submission. Now if you want to capture the current date, you can just select the blue button over here. But if you want to capture different dates, you can click on the calendar button over here and then select your preferred date. And then you can click on Submit. Going back to the Design app, under the mode of interview, we can see that there are three options, telephonic, online and face-to-face. Now I would also like to capture the date of online interview. And we can keep the date of interview for just telephonic and face-to-face. So if we want the same type of configurations as date of interview, we can just click on the date of interview block and then click on copy. So we can see over here the date of interview block has been copied. So if you want to check if the configurations are the same, you can always click on the right hand panel, Basic and Advanced, and you can see if there are any changes made. I click on Basic and then for the label, I will just edit it as date of online interview. Click on Save. Now if I go to the Advanced option, at the bottom we can see Display this field if. Over here we can implement calculations and logic. If you have worked with spreadsheets earlier, you would have come across implementing various types of calculations as well as different logics and conditions like if, else, or, etc. The same can be applied in Clappia as well. We share a similar library. In place of cell numbers, we have the concept of variable names, which you can find at the top of every field in brackets. These variable names help you in implementing the calculations and logic. Now, if, for example, the mode of interview is selected as online, then you would like the date of online interview block to show up in the app. But if the mode of interview is either telephonic or face-to-face, then you would like the date of interview block to show up. So how do we implement this logic? Now over here, since the date of online interview block is selected and we want the mode of interview block to be selected as online for this to show up, over here I will mention @mode of interview equals to online. This will implement the logic in your app. Click on save. Now if the mode of interview is selected as either telephonic or face-to-face, this block should appear. So I click on this block, go to advanced, and then under display this field if, I will mention or, and in the brackets @mode of interview equals to telephonic, comma @mode of interview equals to face-to-face. Click on save. Now let's see how this logic works in the app. We go to app home again, and now you can see the date block has completely disappeared from the app. Neither the date of interview nor the date of online interview block is seen. So if I select mode of interview as online, you can see the date of online interview block has appeared. But if I select either telephonic or face-to-face, the date of interview block has appeared. Now let's see how to implement the date for the next round. Go back to Design App and then click on the next round section. We click on Add Field, again the Date Selector Block. Now over here for the next round, if the person has been qualified, so if the qualified section is selected as yes, only then would you like this particular block to show up in your app. Also, you would like to select the date of the second round to be 1 week after the date of interview has been scheduled. So let's see how to do this. So over here under label name, I will just mention second round. And then under advanced, we can see that there is something that says start date. So over here, you can only mention variable names for date blocks only. For example, if I type in @, you can only see the date of online interview and date of interview has appeared. So for example, if I put in date of interview +1, and for the end date, I put in @date of interview +7. This means that when I schedule a date of interview for a particular date, and if the person is qualified, this particular date block will show 1 week worth of dates after the date of interview. We will see how this works in the app. So under display this field if, I will again give the condition @qualified equals to yes. Click on save, and now we go back to app home. Now I click on the next round, and over here once I click on yes, the second round block appears. Now if I click mode of interview as telephonic, and then I select a date, say 16th of June. Now once I click on the second round options calendar date, you can see the remaining dates have been grayed out except for 17th to the 23rd. We had selected 16th of June. The start date we had given was +1. Therefore, the 17th has not been grayed out. Till the 23rd, end date was the date of interview +7. Now let's go ahead and fill in the details for this app. Given a name, email, phone number, mode of interview will be telephonic, date of interview, next round qualified as yes, and then select the next round's date. Now we can click on submit. All your submissions can be viewed under the submissions tab. Once you click on a particular submission, a right hand panel will appear capturing all the details that has been submitted. You can click on next round and see that the date has been captured as well. Now over here, if I click on this particular option, I will be able to change the date. But if you do not want any dates or any of the options to be changed after submission, we can go back to the design app, and under second round, over here we click on advanced, and we have the option allow date to be changed by user. If you do not want the dates to be changed after submissions by anybody, you can disable this option. We click on save, and we go back to submissions, scroll down, next round, and now once I click on this button, you can see that I'm unable to make any changes to this. Now, if you want to download any submission or all your submissions, you can click on the download option over here and it will download in an Excel format. If you have any queries in configuring the date block or any other feature in general in Clappia, you can request support by clicking on the option over here, or you can email us directly to support@clappia.com and we will be happy to assist you. Thank you.